Today, I really want to practice painting with acrylics and capturing my own style together. So I've accumulated a few things. I've got a paper plate for a palette, some paintbrushes. I want to draw faces particularly, but who wants to draw faces with boring old normal colors? So I got these colors. And I'll be starting off in my sketchbook. Now I picked out all of my flat brushes. You can tell they're a flat brush because the brush looks like a round brush that someone sat on. This one's actually an angle brush. So I thought it would be good to start off with these because I don't want to get into detail. I want to try and be a little bit abstract with it. And I really want to focus on like the planes of the face and capturing my style in the paint that way. I'm going to be using my mechanical pencil first. And I think I'll just sketch out a face really quickly. I'm going to just be a little large with it. Figure out where the nose and the mouth and the eyes are. Let's angle the shoulders a little bit to make it a little bit more dynamic. Did I say English. To make it a little bit more dynamic, I'm not going to worry about erasing this sketch afterwards, so I'm going to just add in the smallest amount of shading. I don't want to leave too much guesswork for when I start adding in the paint. I do plan on like filling the entire spread. I want to start simple so I don't discourage myself. I don't love it, but I do plan on like drawing more faces, so I just want to like throw paint at it. I thought this dark blue would work really well for shadows. Then I have white to like lighten up anything we need. And then purple obviously is the color between pink and blue. So I got this just so I wouldn't have to mix colors as much. This is acrylic paint, so it is going to dry pretty fast. And a ton of white. Alright, I'm going to start with the biggest brush I have. This is a 12 flat. A little dirty, but it'll work. I think the way I want to go about it is maybe start with basically the flat pink as a base tone and fill in the whole face. And then start adding shadows in with the purple and the blue. And the flat brush will hopefully stop me from trying to be too detailed with it. And yeah, I am using paints in a sketchbook. That's a little weird, but it's just how I like to work. Obviously, the sketchbook is not made for acrylics, but I haven't had any problems. A little bit more white up here to the forehead, though. So let's start next going in with a little purple, maybe. I'm going to leave the pink on my brush and start adding where I want it to be darker. I'm in my sketchbook, which allows me to be a little bit more creative with it. I feel like it helps me not stress out about making things perfect. I think for the hair, I want to go straight blue. I'm going to be really abstract with the ponytail. Just add splotches here and there. Blend out some of these colors. Even though that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to be too blendy because I want to just practice capturing something vaguely. Because I think if I can get better at that than adding detail to things, adding detail on top of something that already has a good foundation is definitely going to help my art overall in the future. Oop, I messed that eyebrow up. But well. I can actually add some straight blue right under. And then maybe blend it out just a little, even though I said that's not what I want to do. Let's mix the blue with some white. Just highlight the top here and there. Now I can't really do her eyes with this wider brush. I'm gonna switch to thinner flat brush here. Go in with straight white at first. Oop, that is beautiful. Look at her. Okay. Now this was the whole reason I wanted to do this exercise. Whenever I start adding paint around the eyes is when I really lose my art style. I think the almost obvious feature of my art that kind of like tells people, yes, I'm the one who made that, is eyes. And when I try to do the eyes in paint, I just completely lose it. It doesn't look at all the way I want it to or like the way I usually draw eyes. So that's the whole reason I'm doing this. And I plan on drawing a bunch of faces and hopefully we'll see improvement even just today and in the future. Alright, I just accidentally splotched a ton of this like light pink paint on her face. Alright, I think I'm getting to that stage where I'm overworking this, so I'm going to let that dry and just look the way it does. I'll come back to it when it's dry and see if I can add detail on it and how it goes, and then I can compare that to the rest of the art that I make on this sketchbook spread. So I'm just gonna scooch this over a little bit, clean the paintbrush, hope that this paint here doesn't dry on me while I sketch out the next character. I think I'm gonna try a different angle of the face too, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Here we go, we got a little face. Make a nice simple hair that I can just fill in with color. Something about this face isn't even looking right without paint on it. Alright, let's throw some paint at this one now. With the big brush again, I think. I think I definitely want to start with a lighter color because I seem to add dark colors on top. Seems to be my process. Quickly add a base coat. I think I want the light source. Maybe I want to try the light source from over here. I'm going to draw the sun there, and then as I draw characters around it, I'm going to keep that as my light source. So if the sun's here, her eyebrow, her little, I don't know what that's called, but the eye holes with your eyebrows would be casting a shadow. And then all around here would be in shadow. Okay, there needs to be more purple in this. I should have just used straight purple, probably. Trying to think of the planes of the face. Went a little crazy. I'm gonna lighten it up when we get to where they're overlapping. I'm supposed to be using the wide brush, so let me just go bigger on that. Add a little eyebrow action. It's still a little wet, so hopefully we can blend it, although it doesn't seem like it's blending. Brush is a little wet, so it's a little transparent. Oh, I was gonna switch to the smaller brush. Okay, got the smaller flat brush. A little pink around the eyes. Just seeing what looks good, seeing what doesn't. It's all about experimenting and finding my painting art style. Try adding some pink for the lips. I just realized I've completely abandoned the lips. Ew, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Okay, I actually think I hate this one. Like, that's a strong word, but kind of feeling it. But I think what's wrong here, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to shade the face a little too much, and I like it to be a lot simpler. I like flatter shapes, things like that. Flatter colors, I think is probably a better way to put it. So let's try one last thing, and if this doesn't work, I'll get some references with some lighting, and we can practice that from like real life. What I'm trying to do is just translate my style to paint. And if I decide that the problem is that I don't know faces well enough, then it's time to go back to studying from life, which I probably should have started with anyway, but I thought I was trying to do something else. But I think everything always comes down to practicing from life, so I shouldn't be too surprised. Here we go, got some nice big ears. I think I'm going to try this time is be a lot more subtle with the shading, because you can see this is kind of my style of shading the face. Can you see how different these two look? I'm going way too crazy. I think I'm getting very overwhelmed by the art supply and thinking I have to do something one way when that's not at all how I usually do things, which would explain why it's turning out so messy, because it's not something I do on the regular. For some hair, simple. See, my style is kind of simplifying, and I'm trying to add way too much shading, and I think that's definitely where I'm going wrong here. So this time, let's try and add a flat color to each element first. That seems like an interesting place to start. So let's do, I still want it to be like start light though. Let's try very light pink for the skin again. Color, I'm not gonna add any other tones to this. Not right now. That's not what we're here for. Fill in the shapes. There we go. Nice and simple. Now I want to add a little bit more darkness around the nose and underneath the eyes. So I'm going to switch to the smaller flat brush. Grab the pink, maybe with just a little bit of white for now. Kind of blend it in. Just very subtle shading. Oh, and I also want to add a little bit of blush to the cheeks. Make it pretty dark there. Okay, I'm liking this better already. A lot subtler. Just need to blend out these cheeks. They went a little overboard. I think I'm gonna try this nail art brush. Try to just define this nose a little. I'm not crazy about it so far. I'm currently only using the one color and white, so it's definitely easier for my little brain to wrap around. This might be a good place to start. It's almost like working in grayscale, because it's monotone. But it's obviously more fun because it's pink. I might try adding a little purple right under the chin. I've kind of given up on my flat brush idea. I'm gonna add a little white to the eyes. They're getting lost in there somewhere. Come back, eyeballs. Little highlights. The nose still completely lost its shape. A little lost as to how to fix that though. Except just like maybe drawing it in as if it was pencil but with paint. Try that. Nope, that didn't really work. Picking up a few things, just add a little bit more contrast here. So for today, my plan was to just try and practice capturing my style or finding my acrylic paint style, really. I've dabbled, I just haven't really found my clear vision yet. This paintbrush is driving me mad. So it just takes a little finagling. I kind of changed up the light source. It's coming from over here. Sorry, Mr. Sun. I think I'll go back to the little nail art brush, use the blue, and try my darndest to do these eyes properly. Slow, maybe. Focus on the shape. Just try to get it right. Probably my best so far. It's a little droopy. Just trying to. I'd really like to one day, the dream, is to be able to make like a big canvas painting of a portrait of some kind, but like in my art style. So it's kind of important that I know how to do that first before I jump in, right? I mean, I suppose jumping in's never terrible. I like shading faces with markers because of the way they blend in and out. They're usually subtle enough where it looks nice. She doesn't look all that happy. She's kind of blank-faced. So emotions maybe will come later. I can actually go over that with some pink. This light pink mixed with the white. I wonder if I can like somehow do what I learned from this face and move it into this one. Can't make it worse, I know that. Switch back to the nail art brush. That would be an awesome sign if I could somehow take what I learned from that one and fix this one. I think that means I'm going in the right direction. But I might need a little more experience before I have that ability. But if I can even come close, that'll put me in a good mood. I mean, it's better. It's an improvement. I'm basically evening out the tone, canceling out most of the shadows that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Losing my voice. Why? What the? It's a little too wet to try and add eyebrows. They're just blending in. But I like it better. I can actually look at it without baby barfing in my throat. So that's a plus. Eh, whatever. Guess for the hair, I'm gonna go straight blue, kind of like we did over there. Just start filling in the shapes. It might need a couple coats because this blue seems to be a little runny. A little hair coming out here. I think the smart thing to do would be to try and draw one more and see if I really actually learned something here or I just got lucky. I mean, hopefully I will get better the more I do, as soon as I figure out what it is that I am doing. Pencil, my favorite art supply. I'm so glad to be back with you. Okay, so let's do one more. We haven't done any faces looking left yet, so that seems like the obvious choice. Make sure the ears are lined up. Guess she needs a body. They're also headless. Well, headless. They're also bodiless. Can't really pan on painting it. For me, art styles and their exclusivity, like the way they look like a certain person drew them, I think almost 80% of an artist's art style is in the face. Obviously, so there's ways to do like line art and stuff that carries throughout the whole piece, but I feel like faces are the part that people really differentiate between artists. So that is why I am focusing on faces when I'm trying to capture my art style in paint. There we go. Good enough. Let's start adding in some paint. I don't know if I want to switch to another color yet. I want to make sure I can do pink. Since pink's the closest to like a natural skin tone that I have here. So let's go in again. Pink with white. Mix it all up. Add in our base color. Little hand down here. Muppet hands. Next, I think I grabbed pink and just started adding a darkness to the nose and the cheeks and maybe the ears as well. I would like the ears to be even pinker than that. So redden up the lips. Alright, it's not going too bad yet. Although I don't know if the other ones looked bad right off the bat. Did they? Maybe I'm blinded because they're my children. Add a little white to this color. Just to lighten it up. Oh, that's kind of pretty. I love that color. Ooh. It's like a periwinkle almost. So I know a lot of you draw with me, so I was wondering, what are you drawing right now if you're drawing along? Be really weirdly specific, like I am drawing the right side of a bang, styled in a fashion popularized by the model from the 1960s named Brigitte Bardot. Oh. So let me know what you're drawing. Well, I guess it's the left bang, isn't it? It's her left bang, right from my point of view. I must be seeing the blue as like line art at this point. Darken up some of these areas. Some highlights the eyes again. That always makes like a huge difference. Nose. What did I do? I added purple on this one for the nose, so let's try that again. And I still want the nose just to be pinker. I don't understand how it ended up so light. Maybe we'll let that dry and then add just the tiniest little highlight on it. I think I might be almost done with this one. But I do think I am headed in the right direction. I do like these two more than these two, even though I kind of enjoy the way this face looks, like the structure of it, even if it's a bit of a mess. So I am happy with today's progress. Art is definitely a process. It takes time. And I think I'm slowly figuring out how I like to use acrylic paints. Obviously, there's like a million different ways and styles and forms that you can use acrylic paint. I'm just trying to find the one that works best for me. This one I think I did resort back to like the errors I was having with this one. So it's nice to know that I got it right once. I want to thank you guys for watching. I would kind of like to fix this though before I sign out. I'll just try to fix this one last time. Yeah, I do prefer the subtle flat look. Even if this maybe went a little too far in that direction. Oh, art. You continue to drive me mad. Keep me coming back for more. I think from overworking this face it got a little muddy, but I did manage to accomplish the look I like with the darkness around the eyes and the nose and pretty flat around the face. So I'm happy with that. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me practice drawing acrylic paint faces, trying to capture my style in acrylic paint and maybe, I guess more so, find my acrylic paint art style. Let me know what's something you've been practicing lately and something you want to improve on that you've been putting time into or that you'd like to put time into in the future. I'll see you guys all next week and I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye! That was weird. Bye.